so we can get this party started. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our team call. I'm so pumped. I'm always so pumped because you guys, the thing about this business, you'll hear me say this often, it's never a lack of resources. It's a lack of resourcefulness, right? Like literally, I have got a feeling we're going to need notepads because Cassie has got some fire in her right now. And if you guys don't know Cassie, she drops the mics. She literally takes like the entire mic store and she just drops it often. So I don't want to build her up too much and get her nervous, but I'm really excited about this team call tonight. I think there's going to be a lot of tangible takeaways for any coach, regardless of your tenure in the business. But thank you guys for being on live and making this a priority. It's super fun to see everyone's faces, especially when you're the one that's speaking. So when you're watching her, she can see your guys' little Brady Bunch style screen. So if you're in front of it, vicious head nods are always welcome. Little fist pumps, like head tilts. I don't know what that was. That was weird. Anyway, Tanya will give you guys some of those head tilts. So without further ado, Cassie is going to maybe give like a tiny bit of her backstory before she kind of digs into all the nitty gritty. But Cassie is one of my favorite humans. She's been a coach for a little while now. She's got some experience under her belt, but she also has this really great way that she can connect with a brand new coach by saying, I get it, I've been there, I feel you. So I think this is going to be really valuable. So I'm going to turn the time over to you, Cassie. I love you, you little unicorn, and kick some butt.
All right. Can you guys hear me? Perfect. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. My name is Cassie. For those of you that I don't know yet or who are newer to the team, we haven't had a chance to talk yet. I'm super excited to be here talking to you guys tonight. So like Keisha said, I've been coaching for a little while now. It's been a little over 2.5 years. I started in March of 2016. So it'll be 3 years in this upcoming March. And I had a full-time job in insurance when I started this. I still have the same job. So this is still an on-the-side thing for me. I'm from the Seattle area. I'm a dog mom. I'm really obsessed with my niece. I'm really obsessed with margaritas. And those are pretty much the high-level things about me. But I freaking love this community, like with my whole entire heart. I love this mission. I love coaching, and I'm alive for here. So I'm super excited to talk to you guys tonight. And I have to be honest, I don't usually get nervous for these anymore. I've done a handful of them now, but I was actually kind of nervous tonight. And I think when I told Keisha I'd do this call, I had like all this like content just like right in my brain. And I was like, yes, I got this. It's going to be fire. And then as it came time in the last few days to actually like prepare and get my notes ready, I was like, I've got all these thoughts and I can't get them together. But I really think I was nervous because I'm so freaking passionate about this topic that I just hope everybody can come away understanding exactly what I'm trying to convey, because I want to talk about the fear of starting something, which kills more potential than anything else I can imagine. And I've watched it happen so many times, and it is like a dagger to my soul. Every time I see it happen, hear it happen on, with my own coaches, with other people's coaches, it just kills me. And so I really want to hammer that in tonight. And I feel like I have a bit of a unique perspective because I had a lot of fears when I first started coaching, but the fear of starting and kind of those initial milestones and kind of stumbling through those wasn't one of them. And it's just because there was another emotion that took precedence. So I'm going to back up a little bit and tell you guys a little bit about how I got started in this. So I started my very first challenge group as a participant with Keisha in January of 2016. So it'll be 3 years in this upcoming January. And I was just in a spot in life where like I needed something that was positive, that was community focused, that was mine, that was focused on healthy habits. I was kind of in this like tumultuous, like emotional spot. I had just moved. I'm from Seattle. I lived in New York City and I had just moved back to Seattle. And so it was just this really weird time. My healthy habits were, I had none. And I wasn't taking care of myself physically, and I was in a really weird mental spot, and it's just exactly what I needed. It found me at exactly the right time. So after participating in 2 groups with Keisha and literally having my world just like rocked and turned upside down, she asked me if I had ever thought about coaching. And I was like, oh crap, I totally had. I was like, oh my, like every day I was like, I feel like I could do this. I feel like I could be good at this, but like, who the heck am I to tell people like what they're supposed to do in their own health journeys? Like, I can't. And so I convinced myself before she ever talked to me about it, before we ever had a conversation, I'll just keep participating in them. I'll just be a challenger literally forever because I never want to leave this community, but like, I don't need to run my own. she approached me about it, and I had to be like, crap, I've totally thought about it. We went back and forth for a while, and I decided I'm just going to jump in. And what I think is a little bit unique about my story and the way I started is that I was kind of this like totally neutral blank slate a little bit. Like a lot of people come in either saying like, I'm only doing this for the discount. Don't talk to me about the business. I'm not interested in coaching anybody else. Or they're like gung ho, like I'm totally going to do this. I'm going to rock with this. It's either going to be a hobby or, you know, a side hustle, make a little extra money, or I'm just going to go balls to the wall and we're going to freaking do this thing. And I really hadn't thought about it one way or the other, because the only overwhelming emotion that was in my head about it, aside from the fears that I'll talk about in a second, was just, I felt this like weighty responsibility to pay this forward, because my world was flipped upside down by this in the best possible way. And I literally felt like I needed to shout it from the rooftops. Like I was like, I'm scared to do this, but I feel like I can't not tell everybody about this. I can't not share it, because I am a completely different person than I was 2 months ago. And how can I keep that to myself? Like that would be so selfish. So I kind of just was like, I literally don't know. I don't know what I'm interested in. I don't know what I'm not interested in. I don't know what this is going to look like. I don't really know what to do, but I'll listen, because clearly like you're doing something right and you know what you're talking about. And I just kind of jumped in. And I had a lot of fear over my perceived lack of credibility and kind of the question of like, why would anybody listen to me? I'm literally the poster child for like doing this, like you're on a routine and then you're not, and the wildly unhealthy habits, and then doing some fad diet or trying to take some diet pill. Like I am the last person that anyone wants talking to them about like anything having to do with like good, healthy habits. Like why would anybody listen to me? But my gratitude for this overshadowed the fear. And so I just jumped in anyway. And that served me so well. And so I jumped in, and I literally like our onboarding process looked different back then. And so there was like different videos and more videos. And I remember the day after I signed up, I just watched them all from my bed. It was like Saturday morning. And she was like, so now you're going to pause the video and you're going to go put in your EFT information for direct deposit. And I was like, okay. So I paused the video and I went on tvshawty.com and I put in my EFT information. She was like, and then you're going to watch the next video, and then you're going to message me and tell me that you're ready to have a call. And I was like, okay, I can do that. And I'm going to message Keisha, and then we're going to have a phone call. And it was literally just like, I'm just going to put one step in front of the other, because I'm excited that I found this thing, and I don't know what it's going to look like, but here we are. So the first kind of milestones that we talk about, and you guys, if you've been here for more than 2 seconds, you've heard us talk about this, Emerald and Success Club. And I'm not going to get into nitty gritty on those, because there's plenty of other really awesome trainings about them. Obviously, basic overview. Emerald Coach is the first business building milestone that you hit. Opening your doors for business tells people that basically that you're a coach. You get a whole other ability, a whole new way of earning income, an additional stream of income into your business. It's a confidence boost. It's all the good things. And then Success Club is literally helping 3 or more people get started on their health and fitness journey, which like, why are we here if that's not like what your goal is, right? So that's kind of a given. And so those are kind of the 2 first milestones that if you're a new coach that you've probably been talked to, your mentor is kind of talking to you about what's your game plan for this, when are we going to do it, all that jazz. I want to go into a little bit more about why are those things important? Why are those first initial steps important? Why are they important as fast as you can make them happen, besides the obvious? There's 2 reasons. So it's a confidence deposit in your confidence bucket that tells you that you can do this, and because action diminishes fear. So I'm going to dig into both of those a little bit. So on the confidence side, most of us come into this with like, oh, what did I just do? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Who's going to listen to me? I don't want to post on Facebook. I don't want to post on Instagram. Nobody wants to hear from me. I'm not credible. I totally can't do this. And I don't know what I'm doing. Spoiler alert, you're never going to have it all figured out, literally ever. You could be here for a million years, and there's always going to be something that you don't know. So I'll just tell you that right now. No matter how long you've been here, there's always going to be something that's kind of scary. You're always going to have to face things that you don't feel equipped for. Every new milestone you hit, there's going to be something that you're like, I've never had to do this before, so I don't know what I'm doing, but you're going to figure it out. But the thing about getting that win early on and that deposit into your confidence bucket is it tells that fear in your brain, okay, like I get you, but like, hey, you're actually not valid. I can do this because look, I already did this first thing, and it's, you know, it's important, and I did it, and it's exciting, and I'm being celebrated. And so if I can do that, then I can probably do this. You know, I don't have to listen to the fear that says I totally am in the wrong spot because I'm totally not capable. And you need that because confidence is contagious. And the people who are following you won't believe in you if you don't believe in you. We will always believe in you and we'll be here. If you need to borrow belief from us sometimes, and that's going to happen too. But it comes across when you're talking to people, it comes across in your posts. If you don't have any confidence in you, nobody else is going to have any confidence in you. And that's exactly what that first win does, is it gives you that deposit in your confidence, that deposit in your confidence bucket that tells you, I can do this and I belong here and I'm not in the wrong spot. And this is totally exactly the right fit for me right now. Diminishing fear. The other side of that, why it's super important. So think about something that used to be scary. There's probably a lot of them, but a good example that I could think of was driving on the freeway for the first time. Probably everybody, all of my friends and me, we're all terrified to drive on the freeway. When we first started driving, getting our permit, that was like so scary. Maybe it was giving your first public speaking thing in college, whatever. We'll use the driving analogy. How did it stop being scary? You had to do it. You just had to do it, and you had to do it more than once. You had to face your fear, and you had to freaking do it because action combats fear. Expecting for something to stop being scary just because time has passed is literally never going to happen. And in fact, things get more scary the longer you put them off, because that's the longer you're telling yourself this false narrative of that's so scary, I can't do that, I'm not equipped. And the longer you're telling that story to yourself, the more you start to believe it, the bigger that task becomes. And it just creates this mountain out of a molehill. Literally, the only way to combat fear is by facing it and showing yourself, okay, I'm scared, but I'm going to face this and I'm going to come out on the other side. And then the next time it gets a little less scary, right? Like you can't expect to just sit and wait and not take action and expect the things that are scary to you right now to just magically stop being scary. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and not be afraid to invite if you're afraid to invite today. It's just not going to happen. It perpetuates itself. The only way to combat fear is with action. And it's also not enough to only face your fear once or to face it only in the beginning. So back to the driving example. Driving on the freeway doesn't scare me anymore. Driving in the snow and ice, I'm actually really bad at it. And it actually really does make me nervous because I don't have to do it enough. I've done it before, so I know I've survived it the last few times, but I don't do it consistently enough for it to not be scary for me. And that's the same thing with all of the basic vital behaviors of this business, like inviting, like hitting that next rank goal. If you don't consistently do it, it gets scary again. And that's why these things kind of apply whether or not you're just brand new or you've been here and you took a step back and you're getting back into it. If you've taken a break from these things, they're going to feel scary. And the same rule applies. Action is the only way to combat fear. You just have to show yourself that even though it's scary, you can survive and you can make it out the other side. And consistency is so, so key. It's the same in life. It's the same in this business. You have to act. Inaction breeds fear. Action combats fear. If you're scared of something, you just have to do it. You have to face it. You have to move through it. You have to show yourself that you can be okay on the other side. So why do your mentors push these first milestones so hard? It's not for us. It's not for our health. It's for you. It's because we want you to stay here. We want you to be here. And especially, I can say this very confidently, especially on this team, the vast majority of people that are drawn into this organization are people that belong here, whether or not that's for a season or for life. You're here for a reason, and this is the right place for you. And there is such a significant impact that you could make on the people around you, on this world, like a ripple effect that you can't even imagine. And whether or not you're here for a season, for a time, for life, there's so much impact that's tied to that. And we have seen so much potential impact, so many ripple effects that could have happened completely get cut short because they just never materialized, because people left before the magic happened, because they were scared to start. And it is not uncommon for people who stay parked in that fear spot when you're beginning to just bounce after long enough, because all of those things are negative emotions. Being scared, being stressed, feeling like you can't do it, feeling like you're not equipped for this. None of those things are positive. And who wants to sit in a place with all those yucky emotions for too long? Nobody does. And you start to tell yourself that you're not cut out for this, you can't do this. It becomes stressful. Eventually, you do that for long enough without giving yourself any wins or any deposits in your confidence bucket. You ask yourself the question, would life be better if coaching wasn't in it? The answer is going to be yes. If all that this is to you is negative, stress, fear of being inadequate, telling yourself that you can't do this. If you don't have any wins, if you're not giving yourself the good stuff, why would you want to stay here? That's what we're trying to stop. That's why we're so freaking passionate about this. And it kills us because we're not just thinking about you. We're thinking about you and how this could change your life, how this could change your family. We're also thinking about your ripple effect that doesn't get to happen. All the other people whose lives don't get to be changed. If you walk away before the magic happens because you never faced your freaking fears and just started, you can't even imagine the ripple effect that one person can make. Literally, I don't know how many people are on this call right now. We've got a team of about 3,000 people. So I don't even know how many thousands, like customer wise, and like what the reach of this team has been in terms of impact. Literally not one single one of us would be here if Keisha didn't make the decision to start. Not one single person on this call right now. Think about all the ways that Beachbody or this community or the challenge groups or the workout programs, whatever. Think about how your life is different now. Where would you be if this never found you? I don't even want to think about it. And literally every single one of us goes back to one decision from one person that she was going to show up, even though she was scared, even though she didn't know what she was doing, even though she doubted herself and she was scared of what people were going to think about her. Rachel, sad and lonely in South Dakota. It goes back to one person. And the thing is, maybe you don't want your scope, you don't seek this being as big as it's been for somebody like Keisha who does this full time. Regardless of the scope, if you can change one person's life, isn't that worth it? I would hope so, that if everything else went away and I could go back in time and say, Keisha, I'm literally the only person that you're ever going to help, but this is what you did for me. I know with every fiber of my being that she would do it anyway. Think about the people that are going to be able to say that to you down the line, regardless of whether or not you run 3 challenge groups, you do this to pay for your Shakeology, you do this because it's fun, or you want to turn this into your full-time job. Helping one person, changing one person's life like that, isn't that worth it? It so is. I mean, I'm telling you right now, it so is. And here's some stories for you. And these are all things that have been shared publicly. So I just told you mine. Here's some other things. I'm not giving anything away because all these people are coaches who have shared these stories. How about Brittany, who probably wouldn't be here because her body would not be strong enough to fight the cancer that she's been fighting for how many years now if this didn't find her? How about Marie, who says that this saved her marriage? How about Elisa, who's no longer dealing with her autoimmune condition that she was dealing with every single day and told would never get better? How about Kinsley, who's not a slave to her IBS anymore? How about Lo, who didn't give up on her dream of being a veterinarian and is able to get through the stress of a residency because she has the tools to take care of herself? And maybe it's something smaller than that. Maybe it's just your challenger that says, hey, I have energy to play with my kids again. I feel like I'm a better parent. Thank you. Or how about your friend that comes to you and says, oh my gosh, I went out and I had an adventure and I made memories this summer because I wasn't more scared about someone seeing me in a bathing suit than I was about this experience that someone was offering me. Or how about the person that says, I just turned 40 and I feel better about myself than I did when I turned 30 and I'm so excited for this next chapter in my life. And more. I mean, those are all things that I've heard, all those challenger stories, those are messages that I've gotten from people. If one of those stories came to you, wouldn't it be worth it? And you're going to get more than one. If you show up, you get more than one. And that's the power of a ripple effect. That's the power of impact. But none of it happens if you stay scared to start. If you stay parked in fear and you don't make yourself just do the thing that's scary, none of that happens. And that's so tragic. It's so tragic for you. And it's so tragic for all of the people that you could freaking help that need this, that need their marriage to be saved, that need their health to get better, that need to stop letting life pass them by because they don't have the energy or the confidence to enjoy any of it, that literally need their health and a strong body to withstand the challenges that they have to face. Like, you can't even imagine just the weight of the gift that we can offer people, health and happiness. Show me 2 things that matter more than that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just you that's walking away if you quit before the magic happens because you never found the courage to face your fear and start. It's a lot of other people's futures that are kind of walking away too. So we just don't want that to happen. And that's why we're passionate about this. That's why we give you Emerald challenges and we do Success Club prizes. Or that's why your mentor is really excited for you, trying to pump you up and asking, what's the day? When are you going to do this? Because we want you to have that win. We want you to have that confidence that you belong here. And we want you to be here for you and for everybody else. That's why it's important. It's not just for a shout out on a Thursday morning, it's not just for your name to be on the Success Club board. It's to show you that you can do this and that you belong here, because I really, truly believe that. I don't think there's many people on this team that don't belong here. And we just want you to be here. We want you to stay. So some signs that you might be parked in the fear place. The delay tactic. This is one of my personal favorites, and I like to call it out when I see it. You just delay everything, because then you get to live in this really sweet spot where you're telling yourself in your mind, oh, I'm totally going to crush this. I'm so going to be the most kick-ass coach. I just can't do it yet though, because now's not really a great time. So I think I'm going to wait until the summer, because everything is just going to be better in the summer. And I'm really going to be able to do this perfectly. I'm going to hit it hard. But when I do, just you wait. I'm going to blow this thing out of the water. Or I'm going to wait until the new year, because January is just a really good time to start anything, you know, or I'm just going to wait until after I'm done with school. I'm going to wait, whatever. You're pushing it off, because then you get kind of the best of both worlds, where you don't have to face your fear, but you still get to tell yourself that you're going to crush this, right? Well, you're not going to crush this if you don't ever start. And you're going to get to January, you're going to get to the end of the year, and there's going to be something else that pops up, because there's never a perfect time to do anything. Anybody ever tell you that? Moms are, well, I'm not a mom, and I've also heard that. There's never a perfect time to have kids. You wait until there's a perfect time, there would not, like, the world would not continue. There's never going to be a perfect time. But if you constantly find yourself saying that, you're like, yeah, no, I'm here for it. Like, I'm going to do this. Emerald, Diamond, Success Club, the trips, Summit. We are going to rock this thing. We're going to blow it out of the water. Just not quite yet. I'm not there yet, but we're totally going to do it. That's a delay tactic. You're just scared, because the longer you push it off, the longer you have to avoid facing your fear. But at that point, you're kind of still getting the high of being excited about it. You never actually do anything, which means you never help you and you never help anybody else. So if you're doing that, you're just scared. Withdrawing, that's another one. Do you leave messages unread from your upline for 7 days and then just conveniently forget about them? Do you just fall off the face of the planet when someone tries to check in with you and ask how you're doing? Do you just not commit to anything, any challenges, any like, oh, maybe I'll do that group, or like, oh, maybe not, or like, oh, yeah, that sounds fun, but maybe I'll get back to you, and then you never actually get back to you? Okay, also a sign you're just scared and you're parked there. Noble obstacles. This is a fun one. If you haven't read the book Finish by John Acuff, I highly recommend it, and that'll blow your brain. It's so good. That's where I learned about noble obstacles, which is something that sounds really great and important, but is actually just a tactic to keep you from doing what you know you should be doing. So some noble obstacles. Maybe actually, I don't even know if this falls within the noble obstacle definition that he gave, but this is what came to mind. So maybe, you want to do this and you're super excited, and obviously you have to get on one of those new coach calls, and just like conveniently, I haven't been able to make any of them for the last 3 months. It's so weird. Sometimes I fall asleep at 5:30 and I don't wake up again until the morning, or, I completely forgot. My technology failed on me. I left my phone at work today, and I didn't see the announcement. My Facebook broke. Okay, you don't have to get on a new coach call to face your fear. And if you actually miss every single one for 3 months, it's because you're trying to. Okay. Maybe you tell yourself, I'm super excited. I need to watch like every training about coaching on YouTube before I can actually start. Otherwise, I'm totally going to flop, and I'm not going to know what I'm doing, and I'm not going to be able to help anybody. I'm not going to be able to help myself. So let me just watch every single training that's ever existed from any coach ever. And then I'm totally down for this. I'm totally here for it. Maybe it's like, I'm actually super excited about this, but I don't have a 6-pack yet. And so I feel like I really need to work on that until anyone else is going to like want me to talk to them about like their own health and fitness. So let me just get a 6-pack first, except I might not do that, because that doesn't actually sound like a lot of fun to me, but I'm going to try it, because I'm not really credible right now, because like I have jiggle and cellulite. And so probably not, right? All of those things boil down to you not having to do the hard thing yet, because you're putting something in front of it. You're putting, I completely didn't see that Facebook message, even though I'm on Facebook Messenger 47 times a day. I'm so sorry. I don't know how I missed that for the last 6 days. Or maybe you're putting all these trainings in front of you. Maybe you're putting this new coach call that you just can't seem to make one freaking time for in 3 months. All of these things, they're just temporary excuses. They're just things that are in between you and having to face your fear. What are you really afraid of? I'm going to open this actually up for Q&A at the end, because if there's anybody who has like I actually think there's a lot of power in speaking your fears, even if you know they're silly, because once you get it out and somebody else can hear them, it helps you tell yourself back why that's not valid. So I'm going to open it up, and there's nothing off limits. Whatever you're scared of, pop it in there and I'll give you a response to it. I'll tell you what I think about it. But I think fears fall in, especially in this setting, in this new coach setting, fears fall into two buckets. You're scared of failing, or you're scared of what people will think. I'd say more often than not, you're scared of what people will think, but being scared of failing is like a legit thing too. So what people will think. I'm scared that someone's going to think I'm being salesy. I'm scared that someone's going to think that Beachbody is dumb. I'm scared that someone might talk about me behind my back. Okay, well, I'll make this easy. All of those things will probably happen. But that doesn't mean that you are salesy. It doesn't mean that Beachbody is dumb, or it doesn't mean that those people won't find something else to talk about behind your back. You won't ever please everybody. You could do literally nothing with your life and you wouldn't please everybody. You could do something with your life. You wouldn't please everybody. Like literally impossible. You will never please everyone. So stop trying. Are you going to let that stop you from living? Are you going to not do the things you want to in life because Sally Sue thinks it's dumb? Are you not going to travel because your neighbor's a homebody? No. Are you not going to get that tattoo because your cousin says that tattoos are a really bad idea and you're going to regret it when you're 85? No. Are you like, come on, you're never going to please everybody. Someone's always going to have something to say. If you know that you're not being salesy, I know I'm not being salesy. I know that I care about the people that I'm talking to, and I know that I'm offering them something that changed my life. If they think I'm being salesy, that's not on me. Am I really going to let those people stop me from helping the people that I'm supposed to help? If I let the concern about what everyone would think about me, and I had that fear, I so had that fear. I used to be insanely insecure in myself before I started this, and before I started personal development. Like I hit it well because I'm outgoing and I'm kind of loud and kind of boisterous like that, but I was very insecure, and I still am working through those things. So I absolutely had those fears. But if I let that stop me, all of the challengers, all of the coaches, every message that I've gotten that says, because of you, my life is different, none of that would have happened. So is it worth it? Yeah. 100% of the time. 100% of the time. Don't let some random person that you didn't even like in high school, what they think of you, stop you from helping people, stop you from doing something that brings you joy, stop you from living your passion. Why would you do that? You are not going to care about those people when you're 107, because we're going to be really healthy and we're going to live until we're 107. You're not going to care about those people. You're going to care about the mark you left on this world. And playing small and not doing something that you feel called to do because of some random girl that you didn't even like in high school and what she has to say about you, you're going to regret that. You're not going to regret showing up anyway. You're like, just, you can't live your life based off of what other people think of you, because someone's always going to have an opinion. You can never do everything right. I mean, I'm not a mom, but like I see this all the time, like mommy wars, like breastfeeding versus formula, or like co-sleeping versus not. Like you're always going to piss somebody off, right? So like you might as well do you. You might as well do what brings you joy. You might as well make some freaking impact and create some serious ripple effects, because not everyone's going to like you anyway, right? Failing. The fear of failing. As long as you are honoring who you are and honoring this mission, you can't fail here. I don't think you can fail as a coach unless you throw in the towel in a way that's not right for you. Because I think there's some people that this is just them for a season. So when they walk away because this is no longer what they're called to, that's not failing. I think the only way you fail as a coach is when you quit before you should quit. And you're the only person that knows that. Well, and sometimes we know that too. Sometimes your mentor knows that too. I really don't think you can fail. If you stay in it, as long as you're supposed to be here, I don't think you can fail. You're going to miss goals. You might miss Success Club. You might drop rank. You might have a coach that quits. That doesn't mean that you failed. It means the path didn't look exactly like you thought it was going to. But that doesn't mean you failed. And I will say, sometimes it's hard. I've been in this place before where someone's talking to me about something that is clearly not applicable to them anymore. And I'm like, how nice for you. So like, if you're a new coach and inviting really scares you, and here's this person that inviting doesn't scare me anymore. I couldn't work up enough emotion to be scared to send an invite if I tried. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. So sometimes it can be annoying to watch someone who doesn't have the same emotions surrounding something as you talk to you about doing that thing. Cause you're like, okay, you don't know what I'm feeling right now. So you can shut up. And like, that's really nice for you. So inviting doesn't scare me. Telling someone why I think they'd be a really good coach doesn't scare me anymore. But the fear doesn't go away. It just gets attached to other things. And there's always going to be something that you've never faced before that's really scary. It just gets attached to other unknowns that progress and turn into different things as you go along. And you guys, I can tell you, I'm scared crapless right now, truly. And you want to talk about feeling, let me tell you what last week looked like for me. So I was pushing really, really, really hard, harder and more consistently. I've never worked harder in my adult life, I don't think for anything, as I did to earn the leadership retreat that's going to be in San Diego in January. And I was so sure that I was going to be able to lock it in. I told my boss I was going to be gone. I was looking at flights. Like, I was confident that this was going to happen. And I missed it. I missed it by literally a hair. Like, I was right there, which sucked more than being really far off, honestly, but I missed it. And I was devastated. Like, I can't even explain to you the level of ugly, snotty, can't breathe crying that happened from like 8:30 when I realized that it was not gonna, that final piece wasn't gonna come together, to like 10:30 at night, like 2 hours of like snotty, ugly crying. Some people on this call got to hear from me during that time. So like, you can vouch for that. It was devastating. I felt vulnerable, that I gave everything that I had and it wasn't enough to make this one thing come together. I felt embarrassed that I didn't make it happen when I told everybody that I would. A lot of people knew I was pushing for it. I just felt like crap, and I was so devastated. So I can tell you that setting another goal is scary AF. I don't know how many babies are on here. It's scary, and I'm terrified because I know what it feels like to say that you're going to do something and have it not come together. I know what it feels like to literally fall on your face when it comes to a goal. I know, I just did it. I'm still sad about it. Like, I'm right there with you. I'm feeling that fear because now I'm in the point where I have to get back in the saddle and say like, okay, am I going to be somebody who lets this derail me? No. Do I still belong here? Yes. Is this still what I'm passionate about? Yes. Do I still believe in why I'm here? Yes. So you have to get back in the saddle, set another goal, and keep pressing on. And that's terrifying. So no, I don't get scared about inviting anymore, but that doesn't mean we don't feel fear. That doesn't mean your mentor doesn't understand what you're feeling. We felt it before, and we might not feel it about the same things now, but we understand the fear of facing something that's scary. We know what you're talking about. You just have to face it, because again, the only way for something to stop being scary is to just do it. You just press on, and whether it's pretty, whether it's not, whether you fall on your face, or whether you're like running across the finish line like, whoa, I totally did it. Like, either way, the world's still turning. I fell on my face last week and I'm still here. I'm still breathing. The world didn't end. It kind of felt like the end of the world for like 4 hours, but I'm here. And now I can tell somebody that you can live after facing that kind of devastating disappointment. And Keisha said something on one of our Diamonds calls the other night, and I want to share because I don't know if she put this anywhere else, but you have to ask yourself 2 questions, and I hope I'm remembering this right. Does it even matter when you're facing your fear, when something feels hard? Does it even matter? If the answer is yes, then you have to ask yourself, why am I here? Why am I here? Why are you here? Is it because you're passionate about this? Is it because you want to help people change lives, because you want to pay something forward that changed your life? You have to ask yourself what matters more. Is it my fear, or is it everything else? And I'm gonna throw in a couple other random things because I don't want to forget to say them. You've probably heard this 1.5 billion times. Personal development, freaking do it. If you're new and you haven't started personal development yet, do it. If you're not new and you stop listening to personal development, freaking do it. Because I can tell you, personal development is kind of like therapy. And I 1,000,000,000% can tell you, I would not have handled the last week the way that I've been able to dig into why it was so upsetting to me and process through those emotions and feel like I had the tools to express them to people had it not been for personal development. You will not find a successful coach anywhere in the network that doesn't do personal development. You won't. So if you don't do it, do it. Second thing, lean into this community. It's life-changing, you guys. Like, even when stuff is hard and when stuff is scary, the community here and the friendships you can make and the bond and the support, like it's a game changer and it will make your world better. I pinky promise. You can make friends here, like true, actual community. I got a message from Camille last night. I hadn't talked to her in like, I don't even know how long one-on-one. And she was like, I just want to check in on you and see how you're doing, because she knew that I was struggling. And like, just the most genuine, awesome, kind, loving, amazing people are here. So lean into the community and let that be an anchor for you, because stuff's going to get hard. It absolutely will. But it's less hard when you have really epic people that you know are in your corner, that you know you can go to, that you know you can be honest with. And I'm going to wrap it up and we can do a Q&A at the end. But I want to say, and this is going to sound harsh, there's going to be some of you that get off this call and you're like, yes, I'm good. I'm going to go do this thing. I'm going to go Emerald. I'm going to hit Success Club this month. I'm not going to be scared to invite people. I'm going to make a post about it. I'm going to own this. I'm going to push through the fear for the 2 seconds that it takes to just do the thing. And there's going to be some people who don't. And if you don't, you have to hear me when I say it's not because you're not capable. It's not because you can't. It's not because you don't belong here. It's because you're deciding that your fear matters more to you than everything else that you say you want from this. And that's on you. That is 100% your call, 100% your responsibility, 100% on you. Don't let fear ride shotgun in your life. Don't decide that it matters more than everything else, because it doesn't. And you can't run from it. That's just a fact of life. You're going to face scary things. You just have to face them. And I promise you get to the other side. And even if it friggin' sucks, even if you fell on your face, it will be okay. And you'll grow from it and you'll learn from it. And I just want to leave you with this. You can do this. You're not alone. We believe in you and it's worth it. It's 100% worth it. Coming from someone who just fell flat on my freaking face in a really devastating way, who failed in this one area, it's worth it. It's still worth it. I think you promise. So that's all I have for you guys. And I'm happy to do like a Q&A if you guys have any kind of questions.
Cassie, like, I don't know how much of the chat you can see, but everyone's like, she should be like a stand-up beach body comedian. But then all this, like, that was like the roller coaster of all the feels. And that's like my favorite way to just do life. Just a full experience, like laugh, almost crying, kind of feel like you're going to pee, and just like pumped and like want to jump off a mountain. So amazing. As far as like I haven't seen anyone like drop things in the chat, but I honestly think it's just because you literally like crushed that. So that was amazing. And I feel like there's like, I don't even feel like you need to add anything else. Like, I feel like we just need to package that up. Anyone who is not at Emerald or anyone who is inspired, don't just sit there in inspiration or with motivation, because that's not going to change your life or anyone else's. Do something with this feeling and go move some mountains. Change some lives, change yours, start your ripple, like she was talking about. Because Cassie, you're top notch. That was killer. Thank you so much, girl.
Of course.